In previous video, we started the first topic from biology of 12th standard. The name of topic is reproduction in lower and higher plants. In this topic, we study how reproduction takes place in lower plants and angiosperm that are called as higher plants. Then we must know what is reproduction. Reproduction, it is the unique or it is the important feature which was present in living organisms. Reproduction is defined as it is the ability of living organisms to produce offspring or young ones of its own kind. It is called as a reproduction. Then there are actually two types of reproduction as asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is defined as it is the type of reproduction in which offspring are formed without fusion or without formation and union of gametes. Then it is called as a asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, it is also called as a apomixis, as there is a no mixing or there is no fusion of gametes. So asexual reproduction is also called as a apomixis. Then asexual reproduction, it is a uniparental method as only one parent is involved in this type of reproduction. Then the progenies or the offspring which are formed after asexual reproduction, they are morphologically and genetically identical with each other. Then in asexual reproduction, only mitotic types of divisions are present. These are some important characteristic features of asexual reproduction. Then we have studied what are the different modes of reproduction in lower organisms. Unicellular organisms like Spirogyra, yeast or different types of alga and fungi, they are called as lower organisms, and different methods of reproduction they are present in these lower organisms. We have studied five methods of reproduction in lower organisms, of which first method we have studied, that is the fragmentation. Fragmentation method, it was seen in filamentous alga like Spirogyra. Then second method of reproduction is the budding. In unicellular fungi like yeast, budding type of method was followed. Then third method is sporulation, that is a formation of different types of spores. What are these different types of spores? There in lower organisms actually two types of spores are formed as motile spores and non-motile spores. In alga, motile spores are formed which are called as zoospores. Here we see the example, that is the Chlamydomonas. In Chlamydomonas, motile spores are formed which are called as zoospores. While non-motile spores are developed in fungi, we have seen the example, that is the Penicillium. Penicillium, it is a type of fungi on these branches the spores, non-motile spores are formed which are called as a conidia, and as these spores they are formed in the chain, so they are called as a conidia. And next method we have studied, that is a binary fission. Binary fission, it was mainly seen in amoeba. As we know, amoeba, it is a unicellular individual. When this amoeba it gets matured, it splits to form two daughter cells, and each daughter cell it has ability to form new individual. And last method we have studied, that is the gymnid formation, which was present in sponges. These are the different modes or methods of reproduction which are mainly present in lower organisms. Then we study how asexual reproduction takes place in plants. In plants, asexual reproduction, it is also called as a vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. What is vegetative propagation? As the term refers, it is a type of reproduction in which reproduction takes place by any vegetative part of the plant, that is root, stem, leaf or bud. There are actually two types or two methods of vegetative propagation as natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. In 11th standard, we have studied different methods of natural vegetative propagation, and in this standard, we study the artificial methods of vegetative propagation, in which we have studied three methods. The first method was the cutting. In cutting, as the name refers, we use any cut of stem, root or leaf for propagation, then that method it was called as a cutting. The stem cutting example, for example, we in roses and in bougainvillea, stem cut it was used for propagation. While in blackberry, root cut it was used for propagation. While in bryophyllum, leaf was used for propagation. These are the different examples of natural methods of vegetative propagation. Then there are actually three methods of artificial vegetative propagation. Then the next method is the grafting. As we know, grafting it is a very interesting technique, or it is as we define grafting as it is an art or it is an technique of joining two plants in such a way that they join together and they continue their life as a single plant. Thus we define grafting. Then in this grafting we have already studied two terms used in grafting, that is the stalk and scion. For this, what is stalk? The rooted plant on which grafting is done, it is called as a stalk. While the plant which is grafted, it is called as a scion. The grafting technique, it was only possible in dicots. In monocots, grafting technique is impossible, as in monocots, intrafascicular cambium is absent. Then the last technique, it was called, the next technique it is called as a budding. Budding, it is also a type of grafting in which instead of stem, a small desirable bud it was inserted to the stalk. Then that method it is called as a budding. And the last method we have studied, that is a micro propagation. That means here the microscopic part of the plant, that is tissue, it was used for propagation. This tissue it was grown in culture media under aseptic condition. This callus it multiplies, this tissue it multiplies to form callus, and this callus it was multiplied to form new plantlets. Thus tissue culture technique is used for micropropagation, by which within a short period of time we can produce large number of plantlets. Thus we have studied, now we studied the different methods of asexual reproduction in plants. Then what are the importance of this asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction, it is a cheap and easy method. Then the second point is, it is very economic and rapid method of reproduction. In asexual reproduction, offspring are formed, they are morphologically and genetically identical with each other, so they are called as clones. By using asexual reproduction, yield can be increased. The next point, that is by using technique like grafting, we can insert desirable characters while we can eliminate non-desirable characters. This method it was mainly used in economically and medicinally important plants, and the last but not least, clones are produced by using these type of method, that is asexual reproduction. These are the some important significant points or significance of asexual reproduction. Then the next type of reproduction we study now is the sexual reproduction. As we know, sexual reproduction, it is the type of reproduction in which there is formation and union of gametes is called as a sexual reproduction. In higher plants, that is in angiosperms, for sexual reproduction, a special modified structure is developed which is called as a flower. So, flower is defined as, flower is a modified and condensed stem which was developed by higher plant, that angiosperm, to does the function, that is sexual reproduction. How we define flower? Flower, it is a modified and condensed stem was developed to does the main function, that is a sexual reproduction. Then why it is called as a condensed stem? That means flower is developed by stem. How flower is developed by stem? Let us see. As we know, this is a stem. In previous standard, we studied the structure, functions and modifications of stem. It is a stem. Stem, it mainly bears nodes and internodes. In nodes, actually, meristematic tissues are present, while from at the tip of stem, apical meristem is produced. In this, from this apical meristem, the carpel, that is called as a pistil, it was developed. From this node, androecium is developed. From the lower node, corolla is developed, while from this node, calyx is developed. From each node, each hole is developed. But this stem, it gets compressed or it gets reduced, and which we call as a modified stem. How this flower is developed? If this is a condensed stem, it is the pedicel, then this is the thalamus. From apical meristem, actually carpel is developed. From this node, androecium is developed. From this node, actually corolla is developed, and from this calyx is developed. So we define stem. So we define flower as flower is a compressed or condensed stem which was developed by the stem to do the special function, that is we call as a flower. Then what are the parts of typical flower? When we study a typical flower, it mainly shows three parts as pedicel, then thalamus, and the third part is the floral holes. These floral holes, they are again of two types as accessory holes and essential holes. Accessory holes mainly include calyx and corolla, while essential holes mainly includes androecium and gynoecium. These are the different parts of typical flower. Any typical flower mainly shows three parts as pedicel, thalamus, it is also called as receptacle. Then what is pedicel? The stalk of flower, it is called as a pedicel. Then thalamus, what is thalamus? It is the condensed or swollen tip of pedicel, it is called as a thalamus, on which actually the floral holes, they get arranged. What is thalamus? It is the condensed or swollen tip of pedicel on which all these floral holes, they get arranged. It is called as a thalamus. Then third part is the floral holes. Floral holes, they are again of two types as accessory holes and essential holes. In previous standard, we studied this calyx and corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx and corolla, they are called as accessory holes, or they are also called as non-essential holes, while androecium and gynoecium, they are called as essential holes. Then why androecium and gynoecium it is called as essential holes? Because in process of reproduction, androecium and gynoecium, they are involved. Calyx and corolla, they are not directly involved in the process of sexual reproduction, but they are helpful for the process of sexual reproduction, so they are called as accessory holes. Then what is the function of this calyx and corolla? As calyx, it is the outermost hole, it mainly protects the flower in bud condition, while we know corolla, it is a beautifully colored. So corolla or petals, they mainly attract insect for the process of pollination. Thus, calyx and corolla, they are not directly involved in the process of reproduction, but they are helpful for the process of sexual reproduction, so they are called as the accessory holes. While androecium as the male reproductive hole and gynoecium as the female reproductive hole, as they directly involve in the process of sexual reproduction, so they are called as the essential hole. So now we draw the diagram of typical flower and study the different parts of typical flower. The stalk of flower, it is called as a pedicel. The pedicel, in some flowers pedicel is present, then that flower it is called as a pediceal flower. In some plants, in flower pedicel is absent, then it is called as a sessile flower. Then the next part it is called as a thalamus, or it is also called as a receptacle. What is thalamus? It is the condensed or reduced stem. It is the condensed or swollen tip of pedicel on which all these floral holes, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium are produced. Then now we draw the different holes from outside the inside. The first hole, that is the calyx. As we know, calyx, it is the outermost hole of the flower. Individual or single member of calyx, it is called as the sepals. These sepals, they are free or they are united. As we know, these sepals, they are green in color. And what is the function? As it is the outermost hole of the flower, it is protective in functions, and these sepals, they are also green in color, so they does the function of photosynthesis. Then the next hole, that is the corolla. It is the second hole of flower which is called as a corolla. This one, it is called as a calyx. Then the second hole, it is corolla. The individual member of corolla, it is called as a petal. Each individual member, it is called as a petals. As we know, corolla, it is beautifully colored. There are different varieties. There are different colors of this corolla. Why this corolla it is colorful? To attract insect for pollination. This corolla it was attractive, or it is conspicuous, we say. Individual member, it is called as a petals. In some flowers petals are free, while in some flowers these petals are united. Then the next hole, that is the androecium. Individual member of androecium, we call it as a stamen. Stamen, it has again consists of two parts, and the stalk of stamen, it is called as a filament, while the upper sac-like structure, it is called as a anther. Anther, it is the fertile part of the stamen, as pollen grains are developed in this anther. So filament and anther, it was commonly called as a stamen. Then the innermost hole of the flower, it is called as a carpel. Carpel, it mainly consists of three parts. The lower bulbous part, it is called as a ovary. The long tube-like structure, it is called as a style, while the upper part, it is called as a stigma. Thus, this ovary, style and stigma, it is commonly called as carpel, or it is also called as a pistil. Thus, the typical flower mainly shows three parts as pedicel, thalamus and floral holes. The stalk of flower, it is called as a pedicel. Thalamus, or it is also called as a receptacle, it is the condensed or the swollen tip of pedicel on which all these floral and gynoecium, they are arranged, it is called as a thalamus. Then floral holes, the first hole, that is the calyx. Calyx, it is the outermost hole which is protective in function. Then the second hole, it is the corolla. Corolla, it mainly attracts insect for pollination as corolla is attractive. Then the first essential hole, that is the stamen. Stamen consists of two parts as the stalk of stamen, it is called as the filament, and upper lobed or sac-like structure which is called as the anther. That anther, it is also fertile as in this anther actually pollen grains are developed. And the innermost hole, it is called as a carpel or pistil. And carpel consists of three parts as lower bulbous part which is called as a ovary, in which actually ovules are developed. The long tube-like structure, it is called as a style, and the upper part that mainly receives pollen grain during fertilization or during pollination, that part it is called as a stigma. Thus ovary, style and stigma, it is commonly called as a carpel or pistil. This is the structure of typical flower.